All right, welcome back, Algebra. We're wrapping up the final review. As you can see, we just finished on number 20, so we're going to go ahead and wrap her up here. Number 21, we want to multiply the binomials. We can use either the FOIL or the box method to help us multiply. As I've said in previous videos, I'm more comfortable with FOIL, but I'll show you both methods. So maybe I'll do FOIL in purple. Remember, FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, last. So take your first terms, which is my 5n times 3n. You multiply them together, and you get 15n squared, because I've got two n's after I multiply them. Now your outer terms, which is your 5n, and this times 6 over here. So 5n times 6, 5 times 6 is 30. It's got 30 in there. My inners are right here. They're the two closest together. So 1 times 3, that's positive 3. Don't forget the n. Your last terms are at the end of your parentheses. So 1 times 6, that's a positive 6. Now you just combine what's in the middle, and you're done. So there's 30n plus 3n. So you got 15n squared plus 33n plus 6, which is letter B. So maybe I'll circle that. There we go. Number 22. This time I'm going to do the box method, because I know some of you do the box method, which is totally fine. So I'm going to draw me a little box right here. So I'm going to put an X here and a negative 6. 6. There we go. Basically, my top or my left parentheses goes on top. My right parentheses goes on the left. I know it's a little confusing, but that's the way we do it. 6x and negative 2. So here we go. Here's the box. 6x times x, that goes in the top left. So you get 6x squared. Now you take 6x times negative 6, that goes in the top right. So 6 times negative 6 is negative 36. Don't forget the x because there's an x there. Now you take x times negative 2, that goes in the bottom left. So you get negative 2x. Then you take negative 2 times negative 6, that goes in the bottom right. And you get a positive 12. So I copy down what I see in the boxes. So I've got a 6x squared minus 36x minus 2x plus 12. That's just what I see in the box. Now you combine your like terms, so the stuff in the middle, in other words. You get 6x squared minus 38x plus 12, which is what, letter A? Yeah, letter A. All right, 23 and 24. Same type of deal. I think I'm going to FOIL 23, and I'll do box for number 24. So once again, your first terms are on the leftmost side of the parentheses. 4 times 7, you get 28. How many n's, or in this case v's, how many v's do you have? It's v squared. Your outers are the ones that are farthest away from one another. 4 times negative 7 minus 28. I've got 1 v after multiplying. Your inners are the ones that are closest together. 7 times 7, that's a positive 49. Don't forget a v. Your lasts are at the end of each parentheses. 7 times negative 7, that's a minus 49. And again, if you're wondering where I'm getting these numbers, use a calculator. I'm just multiplying everything together. Combine the stuff in the middle, and you get 28 v squared. 28 plus 49, or negative 28 plus 49. In other words, 49 minus 28, which is 21. Or positive 21, in fact. So 21v minus 49. And that is letter C. Now then, we've got 24. Like I said, I'm going to use the box for this one. And again, the beauty about multiplying these binomials is you can choose whichever one you're more comfortable with. Do you want to use the box? Do you want to use the FOIL? Pick whichever one you're more comfortable with. Absolutely. So 6n goes up here. So does the positive 7. You can put that positive there if you want. I don't care. On the left, you got 4n right here, and we have a 2 on the bottom here. Now we just start multiplying. 6 times 4, 24. How many m's when you multiply? 2. So m squared. 4 times 7, 28. I've got an m there. 6m times 2, 12. Don't forget your m. 7 times 2, 14. So we got 24 m squared plus 28m plus 12m plus 14. Combine the stuff in the middle, and you're done. 24 m squared. 28 plus 12 is 42. So plus 42m plus 14. Nope, that's not 42. Excuse me. I goofed. That should be a 40. That's a 40. And it's not letting me go back to drawing. Why not? There we go. That's a 40, not 42. So letter D should be your answer. I goofed. Okay. 25 and 26, 27 and 28. We are factoring. Now, for some of them, you'll be asked to just factor out a number. Sometimes you'll just get away with factoring out a variable. Sometimes you'll need to factor out a number and a variable. So when I look at 56 and 40, I need to ask myself, what is the largest number that can go into both of them? They're both even. Yeah, I could do 2. Yeah, I can get away with 4. I want to pick the largest one, though. And maybe you check from A, B, and C, and D. I can actually factor out a -8. Now, why negative instead of positive? I choose a -8 because both of my numbers are negative, right? Now I see both of them have at least one x, so I can at least factor out an x. Now we need to ask ourselves, okay, what's left? What is 56 divided by 8? It's 7. I've got an x left over right there. Now, what is 40 divided by 8? It's 5. Do I need to put an x with the 5? No, because I already factored it out. So there's my answer, and it's letter A, 26. 8r plus 28. I look at 8 and I look at 28, and I need to ask myself, once again, what is the largest number that I can take out of both of them? In other words, what is the largest number that they both share? In this case, yeah, you could get away with 2, but I want a bigger number. I want 4. I can take 4 out of both of these numbers. I can't take 8 out because 8 does not go into 28. 4 does, though. 8 divided by 4, that's 2. You're left with an r in there because we didn't factor out a variable. 28 divided by 4, that's 7, so I've got a plus 7 right in there. And again, if you're ever unsure about your answer, distribute. If you end up exactly at the beginning where it tells you what the problem is, then you've done it correctly. Number 27, 28. Once again, we're factoring. I want to again pick the largest number. I look at 14 and I look at 12. What's the biggest number? This time I'm going to have to choose a 2. Because 4 does not go into 14. Now, both of them have at least one p, so I'm going to factor out a p as well. And away we go. What is 14 divided by 2? That's 7. Do I need to put a p in the parentheses? No. 14p has one p. I factored out one p, so we're good to go. What's 12 divided by 2? That's 6. So I have positive 6 in there. How many p's do I have in there? In this 12p to the third, I've got 3 p's. I factored out 1p, so I'm left with 2 in the parentheses. So that is letter A. 28. We got 28p squared minus 24. Pick the largest number that can come out of both of them. It's 4. I can factor out a 4 out of both of them. Can I factor out a p? No, I can't, because both terms do not have a p. Only one of them does. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied a little bit. There. Okay, 28 divided by 4, that's 7. Don't forget your p squared because we didn't factor out any p's. 4 divided by 24, or excuse me, negative 24 divided by 4 is negative 6. And if you're hunting that down, that is letter B. Now, number 29 and number 30. That's just a matter of multiplying all the numbers together and then just listing the variables right behind. So I got 4 times 8 times 1, that's 32. And I just need to list x, y, z. I think on the most recent test, everybody, or most everybody, got those. Now you take 4 times 3 times 6. So 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 6 is 72. And then I just list A, C, G. So that's letter A, and this one is letter B. And that'll wrap us up for the review. So if you've got questions, like I said, you've got 4 of us here. You got myself, Mrs. Grunsky, Mr. Vetter, or Betsy. If you have questions or want to work with us one-on-one, let us know. Remember, your final is on Wednesday, so study, study, study. Please don't just watch the video and then just say, okay, I'm good. Because if you just do that, you might tank it, and I don't want you to do that. But anyway, if you got questions, let one of us know. Otherwise, we're going to leave you to it. So thanks for watching. Happy studying.